Now, it's not only animals that can respond to their environments in order to increase their chance of survival. Plants can actually detect and respond to stimuli as well. If you look up on YouTube a plant called Mimosa pudica, or the tickle me plant, it's an amazing plant which when you stroke the leaves they all fold in order so the plant sort of looks less appetizing to other animals, so they won't come and eat it if one animal's already started eating it. It helps it to survive. You've also probably heard of the Venus flytrap, which has these trigger hairs in the leaves, and when two of them get triggered within a certain time frame, the leaf will slam shut and trap hopefully a fly in there. Now these are rare in plants. That's why they're so interesting, really, because you don't see this. Plants don't really respond to stimuli like that, like a human would rapidly, like the nervous system does in humans. It's very, very rare. Plants do respond much more slowly, and usually we talk about tropisms. Now, tropism is a growth response in a plant. So what happens is it detects a stimuli and then it will change the way it grows depending on that stimuli. It might decide to grow towards the stimuli, which is what we call a positive tropism, or it might decide to go the opposite way and grow away from that stimuli, which would be a negative tropism. Tropisms are named after the stimulus involved. So if the stimulus is light, then it would be phototropism, and if you were growing towards the light, it would be positive phototropism, and away from the light, it would be negative phototropism. If the stimulus is gravity, then we call it geotropism. Again, growing towards it, positive geotropism; growing away from it, negative geotropism. Now, shoots, the growing shoot of the plant, nice green shoot, is positively phototropic. Shoot wants to grow and find the light as much as it can in order to photosynthesize as quickly as it can. So you'll find if you put a plant on a windowsill that it will start to grow towards the window where there is more light because of this tropism, positive phototropism. Here's an interesting question though. If I put a seed underground for it to germinate and start growing, how does that shoot know how to get out of the ground? There's no light underground, and yet the shoot always pops out of the ground. You don't find shoots growing underground. That's because a shoot, not only is it positively phototropic, but it is negatively geotropic. So whatever way the shoot comes out of the seed, it will go, even if it comes out facing down, it will recognize gravity is there, and it will change its direction of growth so that it comes up and out of the ground. Once it's out, it can then use the light to become positively phototropic, and it will grow towards the light. So shoots are positively phototropic and negatively geotropic. Roots, on the other hand, are positively geotropic. You want roots to grow towards gravity because roots need to go down because they need more water, more mineral ions, which will be deeper in the soil, and they want to anchor the plant to make sure it's nice and solidly put in the ground, doesn't fall over. And also negatively phototropic. They don't want to go where the light is. So what causes these tropisms? How does that work? Well, it's all down to something called auxin. Now, the plant produces many different plant hormones or plant growth substances, but the most important one is called auxin. Now, it's produced at the very tip of the shoot, and it diffuses downwards, and it causes cell elongation and cell division. And so here, if you see this diagram, you can see all the auxin there at the tip, and it's evenly distributed, so that shoot will grow evenly. But if I change the direction of the light and I put the sun on this side here, you can see the light coming in from that angle, and what happens is the auxin actually diffuses over to the shaded side of the shoot. Now what happens then is that it causes more cell division, more growth, more elongation on that side, which is why it starts to grow towards the light, because that side grows faster, the other side grows slower, and so overall it ends up causing that bending towards the light.